hole, and she's dang good.
And they face in the circle Riley White for the Vols.
And I like this start for her. I think it's going to be good experience. Only 2 1/3 innings pitched so far, so we'll see how she does against the Huskies.
Just her second appearance. We are off and running. First pitch taken by Sammy Reynolds, the left fielder for UW. But here we go from Clearwater, day 2. Washington team off to a 5-0 start. They beat Arkansas twice, beat Long Beach State, Rutgers, and Lamar. This Snohomish High School alum, Sammy Reynolds, now in her senior year. 0-2 pitch. Riley White, sophomore transfer from Texas. Played her true freshman year last year for the Longhorns. There's a floater to the shortstop, Ivy Davis. And that's the way this game begins. Let's take a look at the Washington lineup for head coach Heather Tarr. And pay attention to how well this team has been hitting. Kinsey Fiedler batting in the 5 spot, off to a .500 start, 5 hits in her first 10 at-bats. First pitch hacking, Bailey Klingler to right, deep, and gone. Second of the year for Bailey Klingler, who jumps on that first pitch, takes it the other way, and almost hit it off the scoreboard.
Coming in with a plan, hacking first pitch. Bailey Klingler, man, she's got so much pop. I absolutely adore her in that 2 spot. It's her second home run of the year.
And a big beginning here for the Huskies. The second batter of the game with a home run. Here's Olivia Johnson, who we were talking about, the true freshman. Maryland, Texas. All she has done is pick up 7 hits in her first 10 collegiate at-bats, and 3 of those home runs. Strike on the inside part.
I like that pitch with White, really just kind of owning that inside part of the plate to Olivia. Poker face.
Olivia Johnson, 2-sport star. Dawson High School in Texas, played softball and basketball in high school. Gets jammed and fouls it back. Now, you and I were talking yesterday during one of the games about the importance of the catching position. To be able to do this as a freshman in a big conference like the Pac-12, that's a lot on a freshman's plate.
It's a lot of pressure, but at the same time, you have a lot of vet leadership that can kind of help her in that role and people that she's able to look up to. Obviously, getting the opportunity as a freshman to catch for Gabby Plain, it's Gabby Plain's role to really connect with that catcher, because the catchers make you look good. So I'm sure Gabby's taken her under her wing.
Check swing, appeal denied by first base umpire Chris Neighbors, so it's ball 4 high and a 1-out walk to Olivia Johnson.
Batting fourth for the Huskies, right fielder number 9, Madison Husky.
Well, for Riley White, the home run for Bailey Klingler, actually continuing a trend here in the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational for Tennessee. They've now allowed a first inning home run in all 3 games that they have played. Notre Dame yesterday in the first game, and then Florida State also a first inning homer in their game, and now UW has done the same. Madison Husky takes outside. Madison has 8 hits in her first 17 at-bats this year. One of those a home run. And when you take a look at the early schedule, you know what Courtney Deifel has done with the Arkansas program in the SEC has been spectacular. So those are 2 big wins. Those are important wins for Washington. They beat Arkansas twice earlier.
Yeah, one of those was a mercy game, so putting up a ton of runs.
Chop to the right side, to your left, Boutte. Go to Ashley Morgan for the second out. It allows Olivia Johnson to advance 60 feet down to second.
Batting fifth for the Huskies at second base, number 20, Kinsey Fiedler.
Riley White looking to get out of this with just the 1 run across. Has to face Kinsey Fiedler. East Summit North High School true freshman. Off to a 5 for 10 start with the bat and a couple of home runs for her. So we talked about freshman Olivia Johnson, but here's another outstanding true freshman for Heather Tarr's team.
Pretty impressive batting average as well. I mean, it's not Olivia Johnson, but it's pretty good, 500.
Kicks away from catcher Kelsey Leach. And Olivia Johnson on a wild pitch is now at third. Fiedler, who was a high school All-American in the Kansas City area, East Summit. You know, when you're trying to replace somebody like Sis Bates at shortstop, and I know Fiedler's playing second, but she's been in that competition to play short. It's pretty big shoes to fill.
But they are very lucky to have Sis Bates on staff as a
Yep.
volunteer assistant. So to be able to work with her, you see her there coaching first base. That's really how you get better, right? When you're able to work with people that have been there, done that can pass on their experience. And that is one thing Sis Bates is very good at. She's a very sweet young lady, very giving, wants to give back to the game. All-time hits leader.
White takes a little something off, gets the strikeouts. So the Klingler home run gets Washington on the board in the top of the first.
St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational, presented by Wilson, is brought to you by Visit St. Pete Clearwater, Florida, and Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
Another beautiful day in the Tampa St. Pete Clearwater area. We go to the bottom of the first, and we talked about how great this matchup is, and we kind of kept this hidden in our holster. Oh yeah, one of the best pitchers in the sport, Gabby Plain, is gone.
Yeah, she 13 innings so far on the year. I mean, has had so much experience with the Huskies, Women's College World Series, National Championship Final. Like, she's been through a lot, and this is her last year with the Dogs. Has that devastating drop ball. Makes speeds pretty well, as well as throwing that backdoor curve. You can go up. And if anyone knows her, it would be Kiki Malloy, who's leading off. Kiki Malloy is from Washington State. Her sister Amira Malloy played at Washington with Gabby Plain.
You're quite the athletic family, of course, which is probably the best, most understated thing we'll say all day. 0-1 pitch. It's hitting the air to right field. Madison Husky towards the line, makes the catch. Here is the lineup for the Lady Vols. Head coach Karen Weekly. Some young players of her own.
Batting second,
We'll keep an eye on.
at second base, number
This
12,
freshman right here in Boutte, but the batting in the 9th spot, Caitlin Parsons up to a .385 start in left field today. True freshman Lair Boutte. SoCal native from Riverside, takes ball 1. Kid, she grew up watching the Lady Vols. Goes from the West Coast to the SEC.
And really that first time that you see Gabby playing as a hitter, especially as a freshman, I think it kind of opens your eyes to, wow, the ball can really move like this. Like, to me, Gabby playing is very similar to like a Kat Osterman who played at Texas type spin on her pitches. So it's not easy as a hitter to be able to track that spin up to down. But everything is about gaining information, pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, being able to pass that on to your teammates, and honestly being able to make those adjustments, bring that drop ball up a little bit, move in the box a little bit depending on how she's throwing you, and just try to find little ways to adjust, because she's got a lot of experience and she is, in my opinion, by far one of the best pitchers in the nation.
It's bunted foul by Boutte. Johnson behind the plate. Two count on Laird Boutte. Blaine gets her to chase one down and away, and a strikeout of Boutte with a second out at the bottom of the first.
Batting third for the Lady Vols, right fielder, number 13.
Gabby Plain has won 2 starts this year, has a couple of complete games, pitched 1 time in relief, so she's 2-0 with a 0 ERA coming in. The base is empty. The 3-hole hitter for the Lady Vols up, Amanda Ayala. Whose career began in 2018, her freshman year with Tennessee. Now in her 5th season in the program. Blaine paints the outside corner.
And what a year Ayala had last year. 368, 9 home runs, 18 multi-hit games. She
pretty much was second on the team in most offensive categories, including that 368 batting average. Second best on the team. Last year had to deal with a bad ankle sprain that happened in early April. And was able to overcome that, still put up outstanding numbers. It did not detain her from running. She had a career high 11 stolen bases last year and was not caught. Off the end of the bat, floated out to left field, and Sammy Reynolds trots in. 3 up, 3 down against Gabby Plain. Thanks to the Klingler home run, it's 1-0 UW after 1. Well, our 2022 Pac-12 preview. Maya Brady and UCLA. Of course, Gabby Plain returns for her 5th and final season. Palacios for an Arizona team no longer with head coach Mike Candrea. Outstanding pitching throughout the conference. Leading off the Washington second inning is the DP, Sarah Willis.
Sarah Willis is a two-way player. We saw that a little bit yesterday with Peyton Tidd with Notre Dame and Valerie Cagle with Clemson.
Up there, ripping, hits one in the air, deep to right field in the corner, and that scoots out of here. Already the second opposite field home run for Washington. This one from Sarah Willis, her second homer of the year, and it's 2-0 Huskies.
Who doesn't love an Oppo taco? Because I'm all about it. I think it just shows how much power that you're able to have, because we know every righty lefty can pull the ball, but if you're able to go to all fields and go with it, I mean, that is saying something. But so much power.
And solo homers from Klingler and Willis. There's Kelly Lynch. Pops that up on the infield. Shortstop Davis wants it behind the circle and makes the catch. Well, let's break down our 2022 previews specifically for the University of Washington and Heather Tarr's team. Picked to finish second in the conference. Of course, we've mentioned Gabby Plain, who returns, was the pitcher of the year last year.
And I always used to remember as an athlete when these would come out and their preseason pick, they're telling us where they think we should go, and as athletes, I think sometimes it's fun because it just kind of lights that extra little bit of fire. Like, oh, you don't think that we can win the Pac-12? All right.
So you liked it when they didn't pick you guys to win the conference?
I liked it when they always counted us out, because if you light that fire, it's like anything can happen. You don't always want to be told, like, hey, Mark, you're the best analyst and play-by-play I've ever worked with. Like, you want to know there's someone better than you to strive to just get up and keep putting work in. And even though I do think you're one of the best, I'm not too
right back at you, partner. High fly, shallow left, and near foul territory. Parsons makes the catch. Hey, we have another women's basketball doubleheader for you coming up next Thursday night. It's going to start at 6:30 Eastern. We're featuring the second game between Aaliyah Boston and #1 South Carolina and Texas A&M. It's here on the SEC Network as well as the ESPN app. There is wildlife around here, so keep an eye out. They will nest up on top of the light towers here at the Eddie Seymour Complex.
And that footage before the game of the eagle just eating the fish, I mean, that was
It's lunchtime.
pretty,
It's
pretty
nature,
cool.
nature
Yeah.
at its best. Jalen Alchin batting in the 9th spot. Balls behind, no balls, 2 strikes on pitch number 30 so far today from Riley White.
And Alchin in that 9 spot, a little bit of a triple threat. Has a ton of speed, can drop that bunt as well as slap and hit. And a lot of times you see coaches that tend to put those players down in the bottom of the order, the ones that are able to turn that lineup over quick. Almost similar to that leadoff hitter is an Alchin.
White trying to hit that outside corner. Didn't get the call from plate umpire Robbie Guest. So it extends the inning and the plate appearance here for Alchin. And the strikeout comes on the next pitch. Second K of the game for Riley White. The Willis leadoff home run makes it 2-0 Huskies. 2022 in the SEC. Well, Montana Fouts, of course, is back for Bama through a perfect game in Oklahoma City. Mary Half of Arkansas, co-pitcher of the year. The SEC tournament in May goes to Gainesville, and Taylor Pleasance during the offseason was named to the U.S. national team. Nice for her and for LSU. A little cloudy, but actually, for those of us with skin that burns rather easily, it's not a bad day at all. The temperature in the mid to upper 70s. Here we go into the Tennessee. One half of the second. Zeta Pooney, transfer from Oklahoma, which immediately takes me to last season for Washington when they went to Norman for the Super Regional after having to get past a really good Michigan team in the regional in Seattle. So it was controversial, the right term to use, the draws that they got in the postseason last year.
Yeah, I remember watching it as a fan and seeing them get up and walk out of the selection show when it happened, and they were obviously, I think, just felt just disrespected in that moment for the hard work that went into the season. And at at the end of the day, sometimes the selection committee, it's completely out of your control as an athlete.
The strikeout is Zeta Pooney. And that's the second strikeout for Gabby Plain. We were telling you about the SEC and preview for this year. So specifically for Karen Weekly's team, picked 4th in the SEC. By the way, we have some news on Ashley Rogers we can get to here in just a little bit, but preseason ranking number 15 for the Lady Vols. There's Ashley Morgan. Takes the ball off the outside corner. Well, we have a sec. I'll just mention the Ashley Rogers. She pitched yesterday. Had a medical issue, went to a local hospital, was released, and Tennessee has elected not to play her the rest of this invitational until they're able to get her back to Knoxville and have the team doctors go ahead and give her the green light to continue playing again. So just out of an abundance of caution, she's not going to play the rest of this invitational. Comes a 2-0 pitch to Ashley Morgan. On the ground out to Fiedler at second. Gabby Plain to set down the first 5 Tennessee batters.
Number 24, McKenna Gibson.
Gabby Plain in her final year. I remember it was pretty early in the season last year when she just came out and said, yeah, we got Olympics and all, but I'm coming back next year for sure.
I think it was awesome for her to be able to get that Olympic experience with Australia and to be around some of those women that have been competing for years. You think about Stacey Porter, that was her 4th Olympic Games, and so to be around people that have just so much experience in this game, it makes you level up, and you have to listen and learn. And I'm sure it was an intimidating experience, but not in a bad way, just her being a little bit newer to that Australian national team. It just gives you so much perspective, and from someone that went to the Olympics in 2008 with Canada at 21 years old and then getting to do it again last summer at 34. I mean, it was 2 completely different experiences, just with life experience in between, and happy for her she got to experience that.
0-2 pitch hit towards third. Now to get that, Bailey Klingler. 3 up, 3 down once again for Tennessee. New pitcher comes into the game, and it is Bailey McCachran.
In today's game may be a little bit more of a pitch by committee mentality. And we're already at the top of the lineup for Washington, so maybe one pitcher is going to go through that lineup one time. And I think we might see that a little bit more in the college game, just with hitting. It has evolved. And I think with pitching, sometimes it really is challenging to go 3 to 4 times through a lineup all the time. And why not utilize the staff? If you have 5 or 6 pitchers on staff, as a hitter, I can tell you this, hitters dislike seeing someone new every single at-bat because they have to relearn this pitcher. They have to figure out what their plan of attack is. McCracken, the lefty pitcher, is going to snap that curveball off. That is her bread and butter pitch.
So 2 innings for the starter, Riley White, allowing 2 hits, both solo home runs, 1 to Bailey Klingler, 1 to Sarah Willis. Two pitch. Inside Reynolds, who will get a soft liner to short her first time up. That's a high drive, deep right center, and that one is well out of here. Second for Sammy Reynolds on the season. 3rd solo homer in the game already for Washington, and it's 3-0.
It's a 3-2 count. This ball elevated up in the zone a little bit, right up in her wheelhouse, up and in, just turns on it. It's a no-doubter. This Washington offense showing a ton of power, right? Like you have Bailey Klingler in the 2-spot first pitch with the bomb. You had Sarah Willis stepping up with the home run. And as pitchers, solo shots at times are okay. You don't want to give up that 3-run home run, 2-run home run. But this Tennessee staff just needs to find a way to hit maybe a little bit more quality spots. Try to get Washington to chase some pitches out of the zone a little bit.
Visit there by Megan Rhodes Smith, pitching coach for Tennessee. Klingler, who went to the opposite field, her first at bat, home run to right, her second of the year. Bailey McCachran, who was a sophomore, coming Georgia last year, her true freshman year with Tennessee, went 5-0 with a 2.40 ERA through 35 innings. That's going to slice foul and foul ball. Now that Klingler home run came early in the game, second batter of the game, and she took it out the other way.
Just so much pop, right? Opposite field home run. Like I said, I like her in that 2 spot because Coach Tarr's confident enough that she needs to drop that bunt and do what she needs to. She can, but can also hit that long ball. And I think it's her ability to foul off a lot of pitches, like kind of be a little bit like relentless. And that's what you want out of 9+ hitters if you can. But if you can really get that out of your senior, it's just going to continue to pass that momentum and fuel the rest of your offense.
Pops it up in play, this time right near the line. The second baseman there, Boutte, makes the catch. They retire Klingler.
The catcher, Olivia Johnson.
Coming up Monday night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. It's a 3.5-hour recap of this year's men's and women's swimming and diving championships. Florida Gators won the last 9 titles on the men's side. Kentucky Wildcats defending champs on the women's side. Olivia Johnson worked a walk out of the starting pitcher Riley White back in the first inning. Since she doesn't have an official at bat, she's still hitting 700 on the year, 7 for 10. Pulling the string. Cochran ahead in the count. 1 out, bases empty. A leadoff homer from Sammy Reynolds. Third Washington solo blast of the game. Washington, in one of their earlier wins this year, one against Rutgers that they run ruled in 9-0 in 5 innings, had a 3-homer game in that one, so they've already hit 3 in this one today in their first game here in Clearwater. She's on base again.
Well, McCachran, doesn't
Right fielder,
like is able to
Madison
get ahead on these hitters, and then I think she just kind of ends up like walking them. Or so right now it's like her ability to get ahead is there, but how can she get these hitters to chase a pitch out of the zone or use her defense a little bit?
Husky jumps on the first pitch in the air to right center field. Linda Ayala tracks it down. So a quick out there for McCachran. And get Husky on 1 pitch.
Second baseman, Kinsey Fiedler.
So a runner aboard for Kenzie Fiedler. Fanned her first at bat. Mentioned that Washington is 5-0. Playing their first game here in Clearwater. Tennessee 5-1. Before getting here, they beat Florida International twice, beat Maryland, beat UNC Greensboro. Beat Notre Dame in their first game here yesterday, but then fell to highly ranked Florida State 9-3 for their first loss. Check swing. An appeal asked for down to third base umpire Steve Gould. No swing.
Like I said yesterday, getting the opportunity to play in a tournament like this and play this level of competition right out of the gate. So for Tennessee yesterday to play FSU, who was in the national championship game last year, to just test them, see where they're at, see where these Lady Vols are and what they need to do heading into next week of practice. Like, that's why we play these preseason tournaments. It's to really kind of expose those weaknesses, show your strengths, and build on it to just become better and better and better as the season goes on.
And please return foul balls to one of the Clearwater Bullets or Lady Bombers softball club players and receive a pair of invitational sunglasses.
Tennessee, after 20 years of Karen Weekly and husband Ralph being co-head coaches, Ralph has retired and now Karen is the lone head coach. Ralph was always one of my favorite guys around the SEC, but he is still around the program, so we will still see Ralph, just not in the capacity as co-head coach. Battle going on here between McCachran and Fiedler. It goes to a full count, down to first. Johnson's able to dive back in safely.
I like that last pitch, that changeup, the way it kind of dropped off the table. I think really the difference maker is if you're able to locate that first strike, I think you can get a strikeout looking.
8th pitch of the at-bat, and it is ball 4 outside to Fiedler. The second walk of the inning allowed by Bailey McCachran.
Designated player Sarah Willis.
Back to your point, I could see where you're talking about how she's getting ahead of the Washington hitters. Having some issues at times finishing off the batter. But when you see 3 balls go out of the ballpark, I can understand why you'd be a little leery of making a mistake over the plate.
Well, and that's why, too, the importance of being able to change speeds, which we know that she can do, but can you locate it depending on the count? So you got an 0-2, okay, where are we throwing that changeup? You have some with the 7th pitch of the at-bat at a 2-2 count. Okay, where do we need this changeup to break? And that's just the consistency with it, right? Like, everyone can throw a change, but can you locate it in different spots depending on the count, high to low? Just little things. And I know some people are listening, oh, you never want to throw a high change, but when I think of a high change, I think of it being a pitch that can be called for a strike. And that 0-2, 1-2 changeup just kind of down in the dirt a little bit.
Out towards short, that's over the head of Ivy Davis. Johnson to the plate, throw a little bit up the first baseline. All the way down to second goes Willis. And Fiedler to third, and Washington now tacks on another run in this inning. It's 4-0.
First base.
Second RBI of the game for Willis, who had a solo home run in her last at bat. Here is Kelly Lynch. Popped out to the shortstop, Ivy Davis, back in the second. Well, the 3 home runs hit by Washington in this game. The first one by Klingler was the first pitch of the at-bat. One hit by Willis came on a 1-1 pitch, and the one in this inning to Reynolds came on a 2-2 pitch. Out to left, caught by Parsons. UW adds 2, including that Reynolds solo shot. It's 4-0 Huskies.
Kane.com.
Hey, let's check the upcoming games from here in Clearwater with our schedule update brought to you by Wilson. Here in the Sunshine State, here's what is ahead. You have LSU, Oklahoma State on ESPNU at 4 Eastern. Then tomorrow, which by the way, there are 12 games played total. Here's 3 of them. UCLA, Auburn on the U. On SEC Network, Notre Dame, LSU at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow in Texas. UCLA, that'll be a good one on ESPNU at 4 Eastern tomorrow. Glad you could join us this early afternoon here on the East Coast on SEC Network. Mark Neely along with Olympic medalist Danielle Laurie. Gabby Plain pours in a strike, and we're into the Tennessee home half of the third. Ivy Davis. Ivy off to a .333 start, already with 3 home runs. It's a foul, 0-2.
I think the importance for this Tennessee offense right now to just have like some good quality at bats. We're at 7, 8, 9, and that lineup's going to be turned over for your second at bat off Gabby Plain. You see the adjustments that they're able to make.
Wind may blow this out of play. Let's see. It is going to get out. Kelly Lynch giving it a look. Gabby Plain, who is from the suburbs of Sydney, Australia. Harrington Park in the southwest of the city is where she's from. Inside to Davis. Ivy, who started her career in the Pac-12 at Arizona, played 3 years with Mike Candrea, 2018 to 2020. Now in her second season in Knoxville.
It's a good at bat by Ivy Davis. Gabby Plain was 0-2, and good eye on that inside backdoor curve, and then takes that drop ball away.
Turned on that one and hit it well foul. Ivy Davis last year in her first season with Tennessee led the team in homers with 16 and tops with 47 RBIs. Working on her master's degree in communications and public relations at Tennessee. Takes it low. Gabby Plain, who was retired the first 6 Tennessee batters of the game, has induced her first 3-ball count of the day.
And what an at-bat by Davis. To just be able to lay off those pitches that her teammates weren't able to that first time through. I just think this kind of allows you as a hitter to be like, nice, look at her battle. I want to do that. I can do that.
Good battle going on here. Ivy Davis and Gabby Plain. Here at the bottom of the third, Washington leading 4-0. Thanks to 3 solo homers. One of those from Sarah Willis, who's already added an RBI base hit. Here comes the 9th pitch of this plate appearance. And she serves it into left field, base hit. First Tennessee hit and base runner of the afternoon. Hey, coming up on Monday night, our next SEC Inside grants you an all-access pass to the #2 Auburn Tigers basketball program. A special time at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. Then it's a look at the Georgia Lady Bulldogs women's team. You'll get never-before-seen footage and sound from players and coaches. A real behind-the-scenes look only right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Ball one to Kelsey Leach. Well, one of the 16 teams here is Texas Tech, which is where Kelsey Leach has transferred from. She spent 4 years there in Lubbock. Now grad transfer and in her first year with Tennessee. Towards short. Holtorf to second, Fiedler to first. And Washington turns a 6-4-3 double play.
That's one thing Washington is always money at, is being able to play clean defense. And Holtorf, the freshman, to Fielder, the freshman. It's just a bang, bang, quick 2 outs.
The base is empty for Caitlin Parsons. Parsons in her 4th year in the program. Los Alamitos High School in Long Beach. Karen Weekly said, Kiki Malloy is the fastest player on the Tennessee team. She says Caitlin Parsons, though, it's a very close second.
And just when you're starting to feel like Tennessee, we're getting a little bit of momentum here. We have a 10-pitch at bat by Ivy Davis getting on base. Washington just shuts it down, double play.
Gabby Plain had an 11-pitch first inning, setting the side down in order. Just 9 pitches in the second to do the same.
Still so much game left for Tennessee, right? Just have to use those little things, not get discouraged, continue to try to keep just having good quality at bats. Talk to Ivy Davis. What was she seeing? How was she able to lay off of that drop ball, that 12-6 spin down a rotation that Gabby Plain can throw very true spin on? And we're always thinking the game in the dugout. And I think that's why this, for pitchers anyways, can be the most mentally draining sport at times in the best way, because we're constantly thinking, okay, what's next pitch? What's going to be next? As a hitter, when you're not in the game, are you taking those dry reps in your head, standing there, pretending like you're in there? Just those little things to continue to keep you like, all right, if I go in and have an at-bat right now, I feel fully prepared. And it's not an easy sport, but it's one you have to stay present for every single pitch.
That pitch there, the 15th of the inning from Gabby Plain, who got a visit from Coach Lance Glasso. 9th spot in the order up, Caitlin Parsons. To a 385 start this year for the Lady Vols. Count has gone full. Piece of that to stay alive. We're back at Parsons' freshman year, 2019. Able to show off her speed. Hit an inside the park home run. You don't see a lot of those. Well, Karen Weekly talking to her. Apparently, Parsons was out of the box, stepped out of the box and made contact, so she is called out. That ends the Tennessee third. Welcome back to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. It's day 2 of 4 here in Clearwater. Washington, 3 solo homers They lead at 4-0. Here's a look at that last play. Parsons stepped out of the box, made contact, and is called out to win the inning.
Yeah, and you see her left foot step over. And that is a new rule that has been instated. Both feet need to stay in the batter's box, and if one crosses at the umpire's discretion, that batter can be called out.
Also something new is, I'm told, the way they score that play. Now it goes as a strikeout, which I don't really follow the logic completely on that, but that's apparently the way it is, and it's a strikeout for Gabby playing her third.
That's what I was going to say. I'm sure Gabby's not going to complain about getting a free K.
Riley Holtorf is leading off inning number 4 for UW. New freshman out of Phoenix, Arizona. Gatorade Arizona Player of the Year. And earns the base with a hit by pitch.
Curveball just
Center fielder
got
Jalen
away from
Alston.
McCracken.
Well, brings up the 9th spot in the batting order, Jadlyn Alchin. Takes the strike.
Perfect situation here for the 9-hitter Alchin. Sometimes a lot of those 9-spot hitters could be leadoffs as well. That triple threat.
Still looking to bunt. Pickoff goes back to first in a pretty close play as Boutte had come in from second base and put a tag just a hair late on Holtorf.
This was close.
Alchin swinging away down, a fly to deep right field, still carrying and off the glove of Ayala. Right on Holtorf's tail is Alchin. It's a double. And Washington has runners at second and third, nobody out. The top of the order coming up.
Now I just want to talk about Holtorf and the base running here. See how she gets way off the base, knowing that Ayala is making a big time run, and now that just opens up the fact that you can get that double for Alchin. She's going to get to third base for sure. It's just heads up base running in that moment. And they teach you that when the ball goes up, you don't want to obviously go back and tag, but you want to give yourself enough wiggle room that if she were to catch it, you can get back.
Well, they score that an error on the right fielder Ayala, and Tennessee, like they did the first time through the order, the second time will make a pitching change. Bring in Samantha Bender. We'll tell you more about her when we come back. In the circle now, third different pitcher of the game for the Lady Vols. It is Sam Bender.
Yeah, and at this point, right, it's definitely going to be a little bit more by committee with Rogers not throwing, and Bender has one inning, on the season, and I think really for her, she's going to work that down zone a lot. Drop change, throws mid-60s, but for her to just come in right now and just kind of stop the bleeding, right? There's none out, a little bit of momentum on Washington's side with runners on second and third. She's going to come in and just execute those spots and try to get those Lady Vols back in the dugout.
Top of the order is coming up. Washington, and Sammy Reynolds went yard her last time up.
Well, and I think the Lady Vols are going to realize that that's right in Sammy Reynolds' wheelhouse. That's her bread and butter, up and in. So much power from that leadoff spot.
Left fielder Sammy Reynolds.
Home run for Reynolds, her second of the year. She's up with runners at second and third, nobody out. In the top of the fourth inning, this matchup between number 5 Washington, number 15 Tennessee, the Eddie C. Moore Complex in Clearwater, Florida. Infield cheats in, first pitch high, ball 1.
that missed by much.
Sammy, who hit a dozen homers last year, including one in the Super Regional at Oklahoma. One thing I've always wanted to ask Sammy, that's a nugget that's included in her bio. I know she likes to paint, it's a hobby, but the one is she used to own goats. Need to know more about that. She just drove in at least another one. Here comes the second runner, Alchant for the plate. Throw gets wild, goes loose, and that's going to allow Reynolds to advance to second. So Sammy Reynolds, 2 more runs batted in. That gives her 3 today and 9 on the season. And it is 6-0.
Third baseman.
It's a good piece of hitting by Sammy Reynolds. It was a 1-1 count. A little bit of like a jam job. It was not a bad spot.
Now Bailey Klingler, who's also homered today. She homered in the first inning to open the scoring. Bailey Klingler, who began her playing career in the SEC at Texas A&M back in 2019. Houston native, made the SEC all-freshman team and then transferred after that year. Made her debut with the Huskies in 2020. Last year, all first team Pac-12.
Thought it was a cool little nugget that Bailey Klingler was the first Husky since Ali Aguilar in 2017 to have 50 runs and 50 RBIs in the same year.
Yeah, knocked in 53 last year as part of those 16 home runs she hit.
A lot of pop, a lot of poise. She's always just very calm, cool, and collected. I've seen her play a ton of different positions.
Yeah, had a couple of big doubles in the regional clinching win over Michigan. She walks here. Hey, coming up tonight, our gymnastics doubleheader starts with number 2 Florida in Lexington, taking on number 10 Kentucky. 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Then number 7 Auburn squares off against Georgia. It's Friday Night Heights right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. What color is that? The wig? Some kind of wig.
It's teal for sure.
Is it just flat teal? Okay.
I mean, I feel like I know my colors pretty well. But
do?
I know Roy G. Biv. I know like, but
no, you just.
I mean, I can't go into a paint store and talk about 50 different purples.
I have no idea what that word was that you just said
It's
to
the
describe
rainbow.
a color.
Mark, it's as children, that's how we were taught the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow. No?
Apparently that's a generational thing.
I think it definitely is. You're a little old for Roy G. Biv by the sounds of it.
You are way too hip for this room right now. Here's a 1-1 pitch and a slow roller left side, gobbled up. Pooney to first. They get the out of Olivia Johnson, who had walked a couple of times today. They get her for the first time.
Well, let's talk about the importance of these 2 runners on base right now. We know that
Right
run
fielder,
rule can be
Madison
into
Husky.
effect if you have 8 runs after 5. So if these 2 runs were to score, that would put it at 8-0 and would give Tennessee just 2 more cracks at it to try to score some runs to break that up.
Jumping on the first pitch, Husky sends it to right and off the mitt of Ayala. Reynolds is in. Here comes Klingler. All the way to third base goes Husky. And just what you were talking about. Now suddenly the run rule through 5 innings comes into play. That is scored an error.
And Ayala just getting exposed a little bit here in right field. And I wish I could say that the wind is a factor, but it's not even really windy. She's just kind of misreading these a little bit and just uncharacteristic for her. And they say defensively that infield will hurt you, but outfield will kill you. And it's so true because she's made a couple plays where some big time runs have scored that you know she wishes she could get back.
Husky does get credit for 1 RBI on that ball. Still only 1 out in the inning. Second baseman Kenzie Fiedler struck out and walked. Ducks out of the way of 1 up and in.
That's why these first couple innings of preseason are so important, to just figure out where you're at defensively, offensively, in the circle, individually. Hey, what was I feeling that first weekend out, that second weekend out? Was there extreme nerves? How can I figure that out? Every single game and opportunity, especially in preseason, is just, it's learning and figuring it out. And not one team in the whole nation steps out game 1 and it's like, oh, we're exactly where we need to be. Every game and opportunity is getting better to prepare you to go to war when you get to conference play and postseason play.
Right on the hands of Fiedler and fumbling. Morgan can't come up with it cleanly. And the defensive issues continuing for Tennessee. And Fiedler coming out of that left-handed hitter's batter's box has good speed, and I'm sure Morgan was thinking, I got to get this and get it to the bag quickly, and never fielded it.
Designated player Sarah Willis.
And Bender is just doing her job in the circle. She's rolling ground balls, she's getting pop outs, but her defense right now is just not having her back in some situations that they need to be. No one makes an error intentionally.
There goes Fiedler. She will steal second. Her second stolen base of the season. She did get an RBI, by the way, for a little roller. It was going to score Husky regardless from third base. And has made it a 9-0 game. Now the Lady Vols infield wants to meet in the circle here. Try to settle things down. Those 7 innings podcast. The softball podcast ready to chronicle the road to the Women's College World Series. ESPN personalities cover the sport all season, and they shine a spotlight on teams and players that make this great game so special. 7 innings will entertain us all the way to Oak City and beyond. You can listen now on the ESPN app, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast. All 1 to Sarah Willis. Sarah with a solo home run and an RBI single so far today. 2 for 2, 2 RBIs. You were mentioning the first time she came up about being a two-way player. Last year as a freshman made the Pac-12 all-freshman team and 15 appearances in the circle with 6 starts. 40 at-bats as a hitter last year.
I can see her definitely getting some more consistent at-bats as the year goes on. 60 ABs isn't a ton on the season. Decent amount, but I think she could be a staple in this lineup and make an impact. And this inning definitely has been a little bit of a struggle for the Lady Vols. Excuse me.
And Willis is on base for a 3rd time, and the 9th batter to come up in this inning for Washington will be Kelly Lynch. Still
First
only 1
base,
out.
Kelly Lynch.
Takes strike 1.
Lynch is a player that they need to start to get going a little bit offensively. She's put up some good numbers over the last couple years, but a little uncharacteristic. Still batting in the 100s. She's got a lot of pop.
Ground ball towards short. They're going to go to third to get the force out there. Davis to Cooney. Getting the lead runner, forcing Fiedler. So there's the second out. But the Huskies batted around, and Riley Holtorf, who led off this inning being hit by pitch, comes up for a second time. Well, he's due to come up. Heather Tarr says, I'm going to go to my bench and bring up Megan Vandergrift.
Number 2, Megan Vandergrift.
Senior Megan Vandergrift. It's in the bat. What has been, to this point, a 5-run fourth inning for Washington. Two on and 2 outs. Samantha Bender trying to get the Lady Vols through this inning and back in the dugout. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. 3-0.
I think that Sam Bender came into this game and done everything she possibly can do. Has a couple fly balls, rolling some ground balls, and the defense just hasn't been able to pick her up. But it's not like she's gone out there and done a bad job by any means.
No, not at all. Pours in a 3-0 strike there. Got 4 errors in the inning. Tough to pitch around that. Tennessee came in with 7 errors on the season. Bounce to short. A little sidearm flip by Davis to Cooney to end the inning. When we come back, a chance to visit with the UW head coach, Heather Tarr. Back in Clearwater, Washington leads Tennessee 9-0. Let's take our opportunity to visit with the head coach, Heather Tarr of the Huskies. Heather, your team has given us a lot of fodder to talk about. They've looked really good so far, but I want to ask about your freshmen. You got Olivia Johnson in the lineup, Fiedler, Holtorf. Kind of tell everybody about this freshman class.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I know everybody's asking what happened to Sis Bates, Morgan Flores, and Taryn Atley, but, you know, graduation happens, and it finally had to happen. But we're happy to have the 3 of those guys, plus Angie Yellen, coming off the bench for this team. They're doing great.
Coach Tarr, I know your brother Josh and your mama are watching. Is there anything you want to say to them tuning in?
Yes, I owe you for that one. I love you, Mom. Thanks for watching.
Love it.
Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Heather Tarr, who's the all-time winningest coach for any sport at the University of Washington. In her 18th season at her alma mater. Gabby Plain back in the circle. Able to miss top of the order up Kiki Malloy, fly to right her first time. You know, we just had Heather Tarr on. She was talking about recruiting and obviously the great players she lost and players she has brought in. Remember when she brought in Gabby Plain, who was the first player from outside of North America that Heather brought into the program. They had brought in 3 Canadians prior to that, one of which is sitting to my right. But never that Aussie in this instance in Gabby Plain. And what a career she's had.
Well, and how it went down was that Washington softball was over in Australia, and Gabby's parents were at a Starbucks, and they kind of like met that way and chatted about Gabby and the fact that she was good at softball and wanted to play, and that was all she wrote. And just a cool, really unique story. And I've seen a lot of Aussies get the opportunity to play. Like I remember Stacey Porter with Australia, who played over in Hawaii. Melanie Roach, who got to play at Oklahoma State, like one of the greats, Michelle Smith. So the opportunities are there for these young athletes in Australia. It's just you have to put your name out there and put yourself in a position to be seen and heard by these coaches.
0-2 pitch to Malloy, who pops it in the air. On the infield coming down the line. Klingler now It's the first baseman. That blew it really kind of from third base side to first. Lynch makes the catch.
Second base, Blair Bote.
Blair Bote is a true freshman for Tennessee. Struck out her first time up.
Huskies made a little bit of a defensive change. They put Silent Rain Espinoza at third base and moved Bailey Klingler over to second. That just goes to show Klingler is so versatile, can play anywhere. Seen her play third base, seen her play shortstop, as well as now second. Also seen her out in the outfield. And to all the little softballers that are watching, like, play a ton of positions. Don't just isolate yourself to be in first base. You really just add so much value to a team and a coach when you can kind of be that player that can go anywhere. And listen, if you can swing a big stick, they're always going to find a spot for you on a team, because good hitters is key in a lineup. So be versatile on defense as well.
Yeah, that never changes. Softball, baseball, if you hit, they will find a place for you to play.
Yeah.
Not going to leave a big bat on the bench. That is a 4-pitch walk issued by Gabby Plain. One out, free pass to Boutte. Well, here's what's up ahead from Clearwater later today, 4 Eastern time. LSU, Oklahoma State on ESPNU. And then tomorrow, third-ranked UCLA and number 25 Auburn at 10 Eastern on ESPNU. And then here on SEC Network, Notre Dame LSU tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Actually, will be our first game of the day tomorrow for our crew. Ball's hit towards center field by Ayala, but racing to her left and in. Olchin calls it in.
Third base, Zeta Puni.
Cleanup hitter, Zeta Puni. Hold foul on that third base side. Puni, a transfer from Oklahoma, was part of the Sooners national championship team last year, played in 16 games. Pumps in a strike. So you're saying just a random desire to go get some coffee somewhere in Australia completely may have changed Gabby Plain's future.
It did.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of opened up that door for the Olympic opportunity as well.
Out to third, Espinoza, high throw. Past Lynch at first. And that's Washington's first error of the game. Keeps the inning alive for the Lady Vols. I was going all zen on you there, kind of saying how the randomness of life and where it can lead. And
I love your zenness.
thank you. Katie Taylor's going to run at first base for Puni.
Running at first base, number 1, Katie Taylor.
And Washington last weekend did have some errors. They had 6 errors on the weekend,
First base, Ashley
playing
Morgan.
over in Mexico.
Ashley Morgan in the box for Tennessee. Obviously, who's pursuing her master's in business administration. Now in her 5th season in the program. Little flare out towards short, backing up on it. Holtorf hauls it in. A walk and error, 2 runners left on. First base runner stranded by Tennessee today. Time for today's Game Track, brought to you by Wilson, Washington. Got the big bats going early. They hit 3 solo homers first 3 innings. And then have opened it up, scoring 5 times in the 4th thanks to 4 Tennessee errors. So for UW, trying to go to 6-0 to start their season. Apparently there's some kind of issue down the third base side that is preventing us from resuming here. Hey, while we have a second, I'd like to remind you that we have another women's basketball doubleheader for you next Thursday night that starts at 6:30 Eastern Time. We're featuring the second game between Aaliyah Boston and #1 South Carolina and Texas A&M. It's here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
For the Lady Vols, re-entering and playing third base, Zeta Booney. Leading off the top of the 5th for
All
the
right, not
Huskies.
sure what the reason for the delay was, but hey, you've got 9 fields and thousands of fans and all kinds of things sometimes.
Bender back out there in the circle, facing 9-1-2, trying to have as quick of an inning as you can here because the Lady Vols will need to score in the bottom of the 5th or the game will be done due to the run rule of 8 after 5.
Yeah, if they keep Washington off the board here in this inning, they'd still have to score twice to extend the game. Jadlyn Alchit fouls it back to the screen.
I think that this is an important lesson for Tennessee with Rogers, who's not going to be playing the rest of the tournament until she's medically cleared back in Tennessee. This is important for this team to learn how to play and compete behind these other pitchers. Like, you know darn well with Ashley Rogers, she can take you into the postseason far because she's that good. But as a defense, how do we step up to play behind these other pitchers if we know that she's not going to be able to be out there in the circle for us? And so I think that this is definitely a lesson for them to learn. This is the first game they've had to play without her this season, and she will be back and everything will be fine, but got to learn from this.
This strike 3 poured in by Samantha Bender, and a strikeout begins the top of the 5th.
Left fielder Sammy Reynolds.
Bender, who played her first couple of years at Iona back in 2018 and 19. Transferred to Tennessee in 2020. Of course, that was the COVID year, so they had 6 starts, 13 appearances, and 43 innings pitched. Top of the order, Sammy Reynolds has a home run, as well as an RBI single. That's outside to Sammy. Senior year for Sammy Reynolds. Entered the program back in 2019. Count in her favor at 3 balls and a strike. 5-pitch walk. And Reynolds is on base again. That's what you want your leadoff hitter to do, huh? She's been on base 3 out of 4 times up.
Second base, Bailey Klingler.
Bailey Klingler got the scoring going in this game with a home run to right in the first inning. Sends that one to right. Ayala back, and it's out of here. Second homer of the game for Bailey Klingler. Just kind of served that down the right field side, and it was slicing but stayed fair and got over the fence. So she has hit home runs 2 and 3 on the season for her in this game.
And this is just another first pitch hack. And for a minute, I thought that this was going to drift. This obviously a little bit much down the heart of the plate, but just finds a way to get over Oppo Taco yet again for Bailey Klingler. And if I'm a pitcher, those are little nuggets that I'm remembering in the back of my head. Like, Bailey Klingler is hacking first pitch. So whether or not I'm coming at her changing speeds right out of the gate, or I'm coming and attacking and not giving her anything good, because you know that young lady wants to hit and she wants to swing it.
Freshman Olivia Johnson strokes one through the left side. She had reached twice thanks to walks, but she's on base with her first hit of the game, which means that now she is 8 for 12 on the year. So her average has actually come down from 700 to somewhere in the 600s right now. Now Tara has the lineup card out, and her team up now 11-0. She's toying with making a few changes here, at least one. It's going to be Lily Egan who's going to come in.
Running at the first base, Angie Yellen.
Actually, that's Angie Yellen who's going to come in and run. How about the power for the Huskies? You know, it hit 9 in 5 games coming in. They've hit 4 today. 2 of those by Klingler.
Yeah, that 1 and 2 in the lineup with Reynolds and Klingler pack a pretty intense punch. And then that freshman, Olivia Johnson, in the 3 spot. Offensively, these Huskies look good.
So Egan pinch hitting. Yellen pinch running at first. Thanks to that 2-run home run from Bailey Klingler, the work for Tennessee got even harder. They're going to have to score, even if they keep it now at 11-0. They have to score 4 to keep the game going in the bottom half. Outside to Egan. 3-1 pitch, she moves away from, ball 4 inside, and Egan comes off the bench. Works a 5-pitch walk. The Huskies have 2 on with still only 1 out.
And this game for Tennessee right now just seems like a little bit of a nightmare, and one of those ones that as soon as this game's done, you need to flush it over it, almost like it didn't happen. Because bad games can happen.
Well, Riley White is going to be reinserted. She started the game. She's going to come back in, pitch in relief while she gets hot again. We'll take a quick timeout. Welcome back to the 2022 St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational presented by Wilson. The Eddie C. Moore Complex in Clearwater. It's been a Quite a start to this invitational for Washington. This is their first game, and they're up 11-0. Still in the top of the 5th. Tennessee brings back Riley White, who was the starting pitcher and worked the first 2 innings. They look for her to try to get out of this 5th.
Well, right now with White, she just needs to come in and try to get 2 outs for the team. Just 2 outs.
Fielder holds up, takes a strike. And the 2 innings that she pitched to begin the game allowed 2 runs. Solo home runs to Bailey Klingler and Willis, who was on deck. Actually would be due to be on deck, but Silent Rain Espinoza came in that spot earlier and would bat. One-two pitch. Well, Tennessee plays later tonight. They play Clemson 6 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN Plus. They're gonna have to regroup after this. They won their first game yesterday against Notre Dame, but then lost to Florida State 9-3, and looking like they will drop a second game here in Clearwater. This matchup with Washington.
It's a good spot.
Called ball 4 and a walk. Loads the bases for Silent Rain Espinoza.
I mean, I really remember back in the day with Canada and Washington, like working with Ken Ravizza, one of the sports psychologists, and he passed away a couple of years ago, but his biggest piece of advice is just, wow, that's a good spot. But you just need to be able to flush it, right? Like, we can't hold on and hang on to past games, and the best athletes in the world, it doesn't matter what sport, have the ability to get over it and to be able to move on to the next game. It doesn't mean you can't feel the emotions of what this game is and how this loss probably hurts a little bit. You got to feel it, but then you have to end it because it's completely out of your control moving forward.
Popped into foul territory right near the coach's box. Pooney puts away the second out.
That's something that I think a lot of the younger generation of athletes really need to focus on. Like, talent takes you so far in this game. It really does. Like, but once you get to that next level and you have that mental competitive edge where you've put that hay in the barn, you've put in that mental work, it really allows you to blossom as a player because you can get over things a lot quicker. You understand yourself a lot better. You can be the best player in the nation, but if you do not have the mental capacity to withstand bad games, home runs given up, losses, things like that, you can't get to a World Series and pitch in a national championship game and get through that pressure.
Every sport has its mental challenges, but I think softball, baseball are two that, if you don't have the mental game down, it just ain't gonna happen.
I mean, what are you saying to yourself if you're 0 for 12, 0 for 15? Oh, I need to, I have to, I need to be better. Why do I keep doing this? We have to find better ways as athletes to train and speak to yourself, because if you're telling yourself you need to do something and constantly coming down on yourself, I mean, you're listening to that.
And there is strike 3 to end the inning. Washington tacks on a couple. We'll look to get a chance to visit with Karen Weekly, the Lady Vols head coach, when we come back. 11-0 Washington going to the bottom of the 5th. Hey, coming up tonight, our gymnastics doubleheader starts with number 2 Florida in Lexington taking on number 10 Kentucky, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Then number 7 Auburn squares off against Georgia. It's Friday Night Heights right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Karen Weekly joins us. Hey, Coach, I know one of the attractions of this tournament is the high caliber of opponents you get to play. You just had a meeting with your team. Can you share kind of what the message was there?
At this point in the game, make an extreme adjustment. Do something completely different, because obviously what we're doing hasn't worked. So this is a no-fear zone right now.
We'll leave it right there. We appreciate the time. Thanks, Karen.
All right, thank you.
Well, that what you were just talking about the last inning, basically, she just reiterated right there to her team.
Yeah, that's why they pay me the big bucks, Mark. You know? Just kidding.
And that's why I'm
Maybe
eating
not.
pretzels for lunch.
Wetzel's pretzels.
Okay. 11-0 Washington, so unless Tennessee can score 4 times, this game will end here after 5 innings. McKenna Gibson leading off. It's the 6, 7, and 8 part of the order for the Lady Vols. Ball's hit towards right center field. Ulchant on the run. 1 out.
Shortstop, Ivy Davis.
One out for Ivy Davis, the shortstop.
And for me, she's kind of been one of the highlight players with that 10-pitch at bat. The last time she faced Gabby Plain, ended up getting that base hit over the shortstop's head.
What have you seen for Gabby Plain, whose afternoon probably isn't too far from coming to an end here?
Yeah, she's had to just kind of stick with the basics of what makes her great, and that's just keeping the ball down in the zone. She really hasn't had to go up with that rise ball, which she can do, simply because Tennessee hasn't made much of an adjustment against her. And as a pitcher, like, we're always thinking, okay, first time through the lineup, like, what are these hitters doing? Second time, do I need to adjust? Are they adjusting? And for the most part, like, when you just get to continue to keep rolling out with that same game plan and they are not making you change speeds often or have to kind of go up to down, it's a lot easier for a pitcher. And I think Tennessee just hasn't made many adjustments, but that doesn't go without saying that Gabby Plain is definitely one of the best in the nation for a reason.
So unless you prove that you're figuring out my game plan, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, is what you're saying. Why not?
Why not?
Like, why change what's working?
I mean, when we're talking way back in the day, Pac-10 days, when we're playing UCLA in a 3-game set and the same pitcher's going every single game, you have to make up a game plan. And whether that's first time through the lineup, I'm going to hold my changeup, and then I'm going to whip it out that second time, third time through, I'm going to hold it. Next day, I'm going to go just start these righties hardcore in to try to beat them up, and then next game start them away to beat them up and in. It's such a mental grind for a pitcher, especially when you're out there in the circle day in and day out throwing, and the game has evolved and there's a lot more pitchers on staff now.
Triple foul to third. So again, Tennessee plays later tonight against Clemson, 6 Eastern. Streaming on ESPN Plus, while Washington has another matchup with an SEC team. They take on LSU at 7 Eastern. Also on ESPN Plus. Popped up on the right side of the infield. Klingler moved over there. Pulls in out number 2. And Tennessee is down to their final out. Kelsey Leach.
The catcher, Kelsey Leach.
If Gabby Plain finishes the game here without allowing a run, that'll be 18 innings pitched for her on the season without allowing a run, an earned run, and only 6 hits, because she's given up just 1 today. That was to Ivy Davis leading off the third, and then she was erased in a double play. Towards the hole, and as I say that, there is a base hit. Kelsey Leach with a single to left to keep Tennessee's hopes alive.
Left fielder, Caitlin Parsons.
To the 9th spot in the batting order. Caitlin Parsons coming up. Karen Weekly has come out looking like she's going to run for Kelsey Leach at first base, and that will indeed be the case. They bring out Anna Fox.
Running at first base.
So Anna Fox runs at first for Kelsey Leach. Well, there's a moment of downtime. Lance Glasso is going to come out for a second time today and talk with Gabby Plain. As you see the breakdown for Gabby, 7 flyouts, the ball's in the air, a few on the ground. What's coach's mind at this juncture? You're up 11-0 in the 5th inning.
I know. Because I've had Lance as a pitching coach, and I used to remember him coming out getting like mad at me when I was doing a bad job, but not when we were winning 11-0.
Madison Weber going to come up. She's going to bat here for Parsons.
Batting for Parsons, number 58, Madison Weber.
So here's Madison Weber with 2 outs. Pitch strike from Gabby Plain. Tennessee junior Madison Weber out of Sevierville, Tennessee, which is a little east of Knoxville. And not too far away, by the way, from Pigeon Forge, which you know is famous for Dollywood.
You'd be surprised, but I knew both of those things.
Hey, you can live north of the border and know all about Dollywood. That's international. Little did I know that in the 5th inning we'd be talking about Dolly Parton in this game. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it has.
She's an icon.
She is an icon.
She deserves some airtime for college softball too.
And now Gabby Plain 1 strike away, finishing off the Lady Vols. USF had a short drive from downtown Tampa. We'll be playing on this field next. It's Notre Dame. Back to the screen. Trying to finish with a flourish. Hung on to that one a little long.
I think what I've really gotten out of this game for Washington is offensively. I mean, mind you, they weren't facing Ashley Rogers, but still those other pitchers can hang, and I think Washington's offense is a force for sure.
Weber out towards right center field. To her left, that's caught by Alchin. And that does it. Gabby Plain, a complete game shutout, 5-inning run rule, as 5th-ranked Washington beats number 15 Tennessee 11-0. We're going to take a timeout, step aside. We will come back to wrap it up from Clearwater after this.
Presented by Wilson is brought to you by Visit St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, and Wilson Fast Pitch, leaders in softball innovation.
One up from Clearwater, where Washington improves to 6-0 as they run rule Tennessee 11-0 at 5 innings. Tennessee, their 2nd straight loss here in Clearwater. They are now 5-2. It was the long ball from Washington, Danielle. They hit 4, including 2 from Bailey Klingler.
Yeah, Bailey Klingler, senior, both opposite field home runs. A lot of power from that 2 spot. And then it's the sophomore, Sarah Willis, who also shows a little Oppo Taco power. And then it's Sammy Reynolds from that leadoff spot, that little pull power to the right center gap. I mean, that was a no-doubter. And honestly, like, this UW offense came swinging. They were explosive. They have senior leadership, younger players stepping up, and, you know,